Good morning. So today we are going to discuss about the protein binding of drugs. Now, whenever we are talking about the plasma protein binding, what does it mean? Plasma protein binding refers to the degree to which medications attach to the protein within the blood. That means, what does it mean? But last chapters like that we have already seen that after the drug it was absorbed and it will go to the circulation, then it will distribute into the different body compartment, and there the drug may be bind to the plasma protein, or it can be you can say that present in a free form. Now this, what is their degree, what is their you can say that capacity to bind to the plasma protein, so that refers to the plasma protein binding. So it is nothing but the efficacy of the drug uh, to bind with the plasma protein. Now what will happen? See, already we have told that if the drug present into the free form, then only it will produce the effect. It will bind to the receptor, or it will bind to the any target molecule, and it will produce the effect. But unless it will present into the free form, it will not produce any effect. So that is also important. Now here different you can say that common blood proteins that are there, like you can say that globulins are there, albumin, lipoprotein, glycoprotein. So these are the different plasma proteins are there. So here we are showing that, like if we are considering the blood, again you can say that it is the plasma and cellular components are there. In the plasma almost only the 9% are solid, and there also you can say that under the solid more inorganic components is there, and 6 to 8% is the organic compound. And here among the organic compound, protein constituents a percent, you can say that a percent of solid material present into the blood. So whenever we are talking about the plasma protein, that means it is the capacity of the drug to bind with the different proteins present into the plasma. Now, if we are talking about the major proteins which are present into the plasma, these are the albumin, which is almost 60%, clear, 60%. Major, you can say that here also we are telling that albumin majorly it is the 60%, and it is the major component of the osmotic pressure of the plasma. Next is globulin. So globulin is the again antibody immunoglobulin, and it is also a transport protein. Next you can say that globulin, again it is the different type of the globulin, alpha 1, alpha 2, beta, gamma globulins are there. Next is fibrinogen. Fibrinogen function, of course it is again the blood clotting parameters, but it is a protein. And others is you can say that antitrypsin, coagulation you can say that factors, all those are also it is there. Now here albumin is the major protein, clear, albumin is the major protein. Now if you see about this chart, what we can understand that, see, then the plasma protein binding, see this is we are talking about the drug. So drug inside the blood, so drug binding to the blood component. So this is the drug and this is the plasma protein. So they will bind, and there is the complex of the drug and the plasma protein, the drug and the plasma protein. Now this again you can say that the drug can enter into the liver. They can, if they will bind to the enzyme, different enzyme we have told, like you can say that in the in the phase 1 reaction already we have seen that cytochrome P40 enzymes it is there. So there will be metabolite, and through the metabolite it will be excreted through the either the biliary excretion or the excreted through the urine. And that you can say that this is the drug metabolite binding to the liver tissue, that may be happen. The drug, free drug, can enter into the tissue, and they can also able to bind with the tissue, you can say that proteins, or that you can say that tissue proteins. Or if it is the free drug, then it will bind to the response and it will produce the pharmacological responses. Now here again we are telling that in the kidney, free drug it will enter, again it will bind to the renal tissue, or you can say that it will bind to the carrier and it will be excreted, or it can be directly excreted. Now what does it mean by this, you can say that figure. Now if the drug, mainly it will bind to the, or more quantity of the drug, more percent of the drug bind to the plasma, then it will not going to be distributed into the liver or the kidney, or you can say that tissue. That means the drug, it will remain into the body for a longer time. The drug, it will be remain for the in the body for a longer time. So as a result, the duration of action, it is varies. The duration, so number of the free drugs are there, that is actually important, because that is only going to bind with the receptor and produce the pharmacological action. So this is important. It is plasma protein binding, it is one of the parameter by which you can say that we can understand for how much duration the drug, it will be remaining in our body, and when they will be excreted.